What's up? This is Wylie the werewolf. And tonight what I'd like to talk to you about is something called rounding numbers. You know how to round? Good question, you might ask. Well, let me give you an example. Let's say we have $404. All right, so $404. And you go ask your mother, can I have approximately, can I have an estimate, or can I have about, oh, I already said that, rounding this much money. So there's a couple ways you could do this. You could round to the ones, and we already talked about that the first thing you got to do is find your decimal. There's actually an invisible decimal in here at the very end. Oh, need to get a new marker. See ya. All right, so if you're going to round to the ones, you're going to look at the number next to it. And what is the number next to it? There is a number there, and it's again hiding, but it's actually a 0. So you're going to look at that number next to it. Now this is the rule. If it's 5 or more, go up a floor. If it's 4 or less, let it rest. Leave it alone. Okay, so we're going to come back to this rule over here for each one of these. So we're going to round the ones digit, which is the 4. So you're going to look at the number next to it. Is the number next to it 5 or more? No. Is it 4 or less? Yes. 4 or less, let it rest. So rest means that you're going to leave this alone. Don't touch it. So your answer is going to be 404. And you can even put a period in there and some zeros, but that's not really necessary. You could leave those off, because otherwise you would just keep putting a whole bunch of zeros on here, and that really wouldn't make any sense. So let's just leave it off. All right, so we got 404. Now keep that rule in mind. What if I gave you this number? Let's do 339. And so once again, you want to find your decimal. And the decimal is there. Although in this is an example, once again, it's hiding. So I know it's right there. Even though it's hiding, it's right there. It's $339. It's 339 chickens. Chicken. Starting to get a little hungry. Sorry. All right, so this time what we're going to do is we're going to round to the tens digit. Tens. I did not say tenths. That would be over on this side right here. But we're not worried about there. Tens. So you're going to look at the number next to it, and here's your rule again. 5 or more, go up a floor. 4 or less, let it rest. Say it fast. Good job. 5 or more. So is that 9, the number next to it, is it 5 or more? Yes. Is it 4 or less? No, because the other one was yes. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up a floor with this 3. And so up one floor means up one number. So that would become a 4. Now everything else off to the side would become zeros. But we're going to keep that 3. Don't drop that 3. So your answer would be about 340. Approximately 340. You rounded to the tens and you got 340. All right, so hopefully you're still with me. Let me try to confuse you. 1.48. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to round this number to the 10th spot. Tenths. And says it's going to be on that side. So what's going to happen to that 4? You're going to look at the number next to it. Is that number next to it 5 or more or 4 or less? Yes, it's 5 or more. So that number here goes up a floor. So it becomes a 5. Everything else off to this side becomes zeros. You don't need to put all those zeros. You can leave it alone. But then you still need to bring down your 1 point. So this is about 1.5. $1.50. 1.5 donuts or chickens. All right, the moon's starting to change. I got to hurry this up. But keep this rule in mind. 5 or more, go up the floor. 4 or less, let it rest. This is how you round numbers. Whole numbers and decimals. So you got to know those place values, because then you'll have to know which one to do. Otherwise, you're going to round the wrong number, and then it will be incorrect. Let me give you one more example. $5.999. All right, this might be a future gas price. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to round the hundreds on here. All right, the hundreds. So the first thing you do is locate your decimal. It's right there. It's not hidden this time. We don't need to find it. It's right there, but we need to find that hundredths. And so we found it. So what happens to that 9 because of the number next to it? The number next to it is 5 or more, so we're going to go up a floor. So this is going to become a 10. Everything off to that side becomes a 0. But because that becomes a 10, we have to carry, and that will become a 10. Confused? Don't forget about your decimal. And then so you're going to carry that 1, and it should be 6. So your answer here is either 6 or 6.0 or 6.0000000, but we don't need to put those. Why? So just because we rounded this and there happened to be some 9s, it changed the 1 spot. Even though we weren't trying to round the 1s, that's what happened. All right, so hopefully you understand a little more about this. We'll talk to you real soon. Rounding numbers. 5 or more, go up a floor. 4 or less, let it rest. Talk to you later.